This is the story of the Ahom Kingdom, the empire that remained the greatest power of Northeast India for nearly 600 years and defeated the Mughals over 17 times. Chapter 2. The First Flames of Ahom Rule. In the twilight of the 13th century, when the mist still clung to the mountains of Patkai and the great Brahmaputra whispered secrets through the emerald plains, a mighty king breathed his last. With his final breath, Sukafa entrusts his kingdom to his son. As his body is laid to rest in a Moidam burial mound, the seeds of ambition begin to stir in the court. In 1268 CE, the eldest son of Sukafa, Sutofa, inherited the throne. Sutofa, the ambitious Ahom ruler and son of Sukafa, sought to expand his father's kingdom into neighboring territories. His eyes fell on the land east of the Dikhu River, which was then inhabited by the Kacharis, a prominent tribal group in Upper Assam. Though it wasn't clear if all Kachari groups belonged to a single kingdom, their presence in the region posed an obstacle to Ahom expansion. Rather than plunging into immediate warfare, both the Ahoms and Kacharis agreed to resolve the dispute peacefully, but through an unusual challenge. Sutufaya claimed the land east of the Dikhu as Ahom territory. The Kacharis disagreed, and so a contest was proposed. If the Kacharis could dig a canal from their settlement to the Dikhu River in one night, the land would remain theirs. If they failed, the Ahoms would take control. The Kacharis accepted, determined to protect their homeland. That night, under the full moon, they toiled relentlessly. Their effort was near completion when Sutufa, anticipating their success, set a clever trap. Hidden in the surrounding forest, Ahom soldiers waited with roosters. As the canal neared completion, the soldiers made the roosters crow, imitating the break of dawn. Misled by the sound and the moonlight, the Kacharis believed it was morning and that they had lost the challenge. Disheartened, they abandoned their nearly finished work and withdrew from the land. The Ahoms immediately claimed the territory, and through this cunning move, Sutufei expanded his kingdom without shedding a drop of blood. His successor, Subinfa, was not a warrior first. He was a strategist and a builder. He realized that the Ahom kingdom needed roots, not just swords. He expanded the boundaries of administration, introduced new settlements, and made overtures to neighboring chieftains. Trade routes expanded, and the internal structure of the kingdom grew firmer. While not known for military glory, Subanfa ensured that the Ahom heartland pulsed with new life. He ruled wisely until 1293 CE. His reign was quiet, but in silence the roots of power dug deep. Then came Sukangfa. During his reign, the Ahom kingdom stepped onto a larger political stage, engaging in its first major conflict with a neighboring power, the mighty kingdom of Kamadapur. Around 1324, a prolonged war broke out between the Ahoms and King Pratapdvaj of Kamada. The fierce struggle saw neither side emerge victorious. But instead of continuing the bloodshed, the two powers reached a dramatic truce, not with swords, but with a royal alliance. To seal the peace, Sukangfa launched an expedition into Kamadapur, prompting a diplomatic move from King Pratapdvaj. In a gesture of reconciliation, the Kamada king offered two of his daughters, Rajani and Bajani, in marriage to the Ahom ruler. This alliance through matrimony not only ended the conflict, but also tied the two royal lineages together. From Queen Rajani, Sukangfa had four sons: Sukrangfa, Sutufa, Tiaokamti, and Tiaochulai, each destined to play a role in shaping the future of the Ahom dynasty. From Queen Bajani, he had another son, Chaupulai. These royal heirs would go on to carry the legacy of an era defined by war, diplomacy, and the strategic wisdom of a king who knew when to fight and when to unite. The next king, Sukrangfa, at the very beginning of his rule, faced a serious threat from his half-brother, Chaupulai. He conspired to overthrow Sukrangfa. When the plot was discovered, he fled to the Kamada kingdom, where his uncle, the king, welcomed him with open arms and military support. With an army of loyal followers and Kamada troops, Chaupulai launched a campaign against Sukrangfa. Caught off guard and uncertain about the loyalty of his own men, Sukrangfa wisely chose diplomacy over battle. He reconciled with Chaupulai and appointed him as the Charing Raja, a newly created position to govern the Charing region near Jaipur on the Burhidihing River. After these early challenges, Sukrangfa's reign stabilized. He expanded his kingdom up to the banks of the Brahmaputra by subduing local tribal chiefs who couldn't withstand his growing power. Then came Sutufa, the second son of Ahom, King Sukrangfa. He was a king with bold ambitions and a desire to expand his realm. His reign, however, would be remembered not for conquests, but for betrayal and bloodshed. Driven by the vision of a stronger Ahom kingdom, Sutafa frequently clashed with the neighboring Sutia kingdom. Tensions between the two powers escalated into open conflict, and the rivalry turned deadly in 1376 CE. That year, in a deceptive gesture of peace, the Sutia king invited Sutufa to a friendly regatta on the Safrai River near Chapaguri. Trusting the invitation, Sutufa boarded the Sutia king's barge, unaccompanied by his guards. It was a fatal mistake. In an act of cold-blooded treachery, the Sutias murdered Sutufa aboard the boat. The Ahom soldiers accompanying their king returned in shock to the capital, bearing the grim news of his assassination. The event ignited a long and bitter war between the two kingdoms. The loss shook the court to its bones. A king was gone. A war loomed large. Questions of succession arose, and the kingdom stood on the brink of uncertainty.